Hi, I'm Larry Gelwix, the Getaway Guru, and I want to personally invite you to join me on an exciting Scotland, Wales, and England tour this summer. You know, I've been in the travel business for 46 years, visited 115 countries, most of them many, many times over. And I just got to flat out tell you, I am so excited about our United Kingdom, Great Britain, Scotland, Wales, and England tour. It's going to be a tour like none that I have ever seen. Now, the highlight of our visit to Scotland is the Tattoo Festival. Now, before you turn the screen off, the Tattoo Festival has nothing to do with body art. In fact, the Tattoo Festival is the world's largest bagpipe and military drum corps festival. It's viewed by over 100 million people worldwide. It's only held in the month of August and only held at the Edinburgh Castle in Edinburgh, Scotland. Well, why is it called tattoo? The history of this goes back to the 16th century, where a Dutch expression was used there in Scotland. At the evening hours, when it got late, the soldiers would send out a drummer and the town crier or a sergeant who would go to the pubs and inns and cry out, "Dento, tato, tato." And tato became tattoo over the last 400 years. This was a signal to the pub owners, to the innkeepers, it's time to turn off the taps and send the soldiers home and the men back to their own homes. Yeah, the soldiers headed to the barracks. Well, tato became tattoo. There's nothing like it anywhere in the world. It's a festival, it's music, it's history. You can see the pageantry on your screen. In fact, that middle picture shows that stadium chairs are set up just for the Tattoo Festival. Well, here's the tour overview. Our actual dates are August the 11th. That's the date you'd leave the United States, unless you wanted to go early and meet us in Edinburgh. And we finish in London on August 21st. Now, later in the show, in this presentation, I'm going to tell you about an optional post-London visit to Paris. So let's take a look at the tour itself. I've given you a little bit of history about the dates, August the 11th to the 21st. And we fly to Edinburgh. And there in Edinburgh is, how do I describe this city? It's everything that you imagine. See, as an old town, it dates back to before the 7th century. The highlight for me is the Edinburgh Castle and walking the alleyways, the back streets. But you have the Royal Mile, which is the main shopping districts with shopping, boutiques, restaurants, everything about Scotland. You'll hear bagpipe music. You'll see drum corps and bagpipe troops walking through the city at this time, and it just gets you in that Scotland sense. The Edinburgh Castle itself dates back to the year 1103 and is built on the Mount Edinburgh, the rock there, which was formed millenniums ago by a volcano. You will love your visit to Edinburgh. Well, we will have a chance not only to visit the castle and the crown jewels, but you'll see of course, the famous military tattoo with that. So after a couple of days there in Edinburgh, we move on to Jedburgh. Now, this is a absolutely fascinating city there in Jedburgh. It became a city, the Royal Burgh, which is the city itself, kind of a chartered city, dates back to the 17th century, but it has been inhabited since the 1100s. It's like 1,000 years old as a population center. You'll remember Mary, Queen of Scots. She actually stayed here in the year 1566. Moving on from Jedburgh to York, we're also going to visit York. Now, York is one of my favorite cities in all of London. It's everything you imagine old Britain to be. And one of the highlights is walking the city wall. There's entrances all over the town. You can actually circle around the city there in York. From this area, oh, by the way, I got to tell you, York dates back to the year 71 AD, and you'll see the influences of the Vikings and the Romans. The wall that you can walk on was originally built in the year 71 AD, and there are portions of the wall that you will walk on, yeah, that date back to the Roman period, 2,000 years old. Well, our next visit is to Chester. Chester, I mean, this is what it looks like. It's Tudor Victorian homes. You can see on your screen, and we'll walk through this with our local guide, and then you'll have a chance to wander that yourself. Chester is everything that old Britain would be, and the shopping here is off the charts. Moving on, is to Wales. I'm sorry, is to Wales, and we'll visit the village of Caernarfon. And you'll have a choice to visit a museum there or take a stroll in the old town with our tour manager. Now, the village of Betws-y-Coed is a picturesque village. In Welsh, it means prayer in the wood. And so you get a touch of Wales. Do you remember the movie How Green Was My Valley? It was dates to 1941, during World War II, that it was released. It's a black and white film that is a classic. I suggest you go on YouTube or Netflix or somewhere where you can get the movie How Green Was My Valley. We're stepping into literature and history with Stratford upon Avon. And this really is a step back in time. William Shakespeare was born here. Now, the actual date of his birth is unknown, but most historians put it in April 23rd, 1564. We know it was 1564 because 3 days later, on April 26th, 1564, his baptism was recorded in the Holy Trinity Church. And by the way, his baptism was recorded there. He is also buried in the Holy Trinity Church. And on your free time, you can visit his actual burial site. From Stratford, and we'll visit the boyhood home of William Shakespeare, Tudor architecture everywhere. From Stratford, we go on to Oxford. Now, Oxford itself dates back to the 8th century, and it was got a city charter in 1564, but the Oxford University dates to the year 1096. Yeah, it's been a center of learning, and now the Rhodes Scholars attend Oxford for almost 1,000 years. And then a city that you can never visit too often, we finish in London. We'll have a couple of days there with our local guide. We'll have a city tour. We'll see all the major highlights. Samuel Johnson, who is perhaps Britain's most famous man of letters, said, when a man, and I would add a woman, when a man is tired of London, he is tired of life. Scotland, Wales, and England. Now, as we finish up this tour in London, you'll have a free day to see a lot more. We'll give you a lot of suggestions. I always enjoy going to the World War II war rooms where Winston Churchill directed the efforts of the Allies and Britain in their war against Germany. But you can return home on the 11th or join a post tour to Paris. You'll travel on day one, that's August the 21st, to Paris, and you can see it right here. And we have about, half or more of the group doing this. You'll want to visit that. This will be hosted by local guides. And here is a summary, just a brief summary of what's included, what's not included. It's really first class deluxe all the way, and I get the privilege of being your tour guide. The price is one of the best I've seen for what's included, and I deal with this all the year. Love to have you join me. Book now. There's only a few rooms and space left. It'll be the Scotland, Wales, and England tour featuring the world famous Bagpipe and Drum Corps Festival. You already know why it's called the Tattoo, with an option to Paris. Contact Morris Columbus Travel. Morris Columbus Travel. I'll see you in Scotland.